don't know what's going on with YouTube or all this drama anymore these days, but it seems like there's always something new. First, it was Dr. Disrespect. Didn't really expect that one. Now, we have Kris Tyson with all these allegations that he was messaging a minor and he was trying to basically manipulate them in some sort of way. And it was kind of considered inappropriate, and there's all this other things, grooming and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, here we go again, right? I'm not totally surprised because Kris does weird stuff, it seems like. And it seems like it dates back quite a bit. So all of a sudden I'm looking on Twitter and this person, Muskina, posts that, she was sexually assaulted. So I was sexually assaulted by Ava Tyson, and here's my story. For context, Ava and I are both adults and met each other as adults. Ava followed me on Twitter in November of 2022 after seeing my transition timelines on Twitter when I had under 500 followers. I'm like, oh, shit. So here we go. I started reading it, and then I stopped. And now we're going to look back into it. So let's go. This is what we got. You're a fucking inspiration, and you rock. Now, this is Kris to her. Hey, you are too. Thanks so much. Also, you look incredible. How long have you been on HRT? Since like February. Thank you so much. And then we go into this. We started messaging each other every day through Twitter. She confided in me and she thought my results from HRT were amazing and that she was planning on getting on HRT soon to transition herself. As someone who follows online culture, content, and streaming, I was overwhelmed. So this person's excited. Getting a message from somebody that's friends with Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber there is out there. Go figure. So now we're going to go a little bit further. So my emotions with being trusted with this secret and information that I knew would be huge news as a transgender woman who publicly transitioned a month earlier. I genuinely could not believe something so amazing had happened in my life after I had been through so much. Eventually talked about me potentially working on Mr. Beast, and she told me that she was sure she could get me in a video. So these are the messages that are apparently between the two of them, right? So also, just going to throw this out there. Please let me know if you guys are ever hiring for any type of work. I used to work as a floor manager at the #1 comedy club in Boston, so I'm comfortable around famous people, celebrities. I've worked mostly miserable jobs, sometimes working over 70 plus hours a week and still struggling to get by transition. I've even worked as a chimney sweep, risking my life for $15 an hour, so I mean it when I say I will literally do anything you guys ask of me. I'm not sure where you guys are based out of nowadays, but I would drive there tonight for a job if asked. My number is, she blanked it out. If you want to reach me and I like have a resume available if you'd like me to send one over. And this is Kris replying back. I will definitely keep you in mind. We do videos where we need people to compete. So if you don't mind sitting in a circle or something, I'm sure we could figure something out. Laughing my ass off. She was the most famous person to ever show me that type of attention, and she immediately started love bombing me and making me feel like the most important person in her life. Within the first few weeks of us talking, she told me that she told her therapist about the positive. Okay, I'm pretty familiar with your guys' content. I definitely wouldn't mind sitting in a circle, but surely you guys must be doing some crazier stuff than that nowadays. Either way, thanks so much for keeping me in mind, and always feel free to reach out. Also, you get a lot of hair line back on HRT. They don't tell you that when you get on it. I don't know how the channel is ever going to top the Squid Games video. That was nuts. And yes, you can add me on Snap. So here's the thing. This is exactly what happened with Kris and the minor. It went from Discord to Snapchat. And that's what's concerning because you can't see those messages. There's no saving them. I mean, you can screenshot them, but people aren't going to do that. Because if you start screenshotting something from somebody who's high status like Kris was, then all of a sudden, they're not going to talk to you anymore, right? They're going to block you. They're not going to talk to you. You lose that communication. So people are not going to say those messages. So that's what concerns me with the minor. That's like freaking weird, right? Like, who's going to message a minor on Snapchat? It's super weird. And now you have this same thing, Snapchat. So they're moving the conversation. He's not saying anything crazy. Waiting for, an opportunity for this to go over to Snapchat. So the evidence isn't really going to be there. Because so far, Kris hasn't said anything crazy. But it gets crazy. When I was under the impression that she was working on getting me in a video, we started having video chats on Discord. Ava asked me to masturbate with her on video call multiple times, and I always felt like I had to say yes if I wanted to be in a video or get a job. On one occasion, she asked me to join a video call and asked me to masturbate even though she knew I wasn't feeling well, which led me to joining her and then puking after a few minutes. I don't where the puking part came in, but apparently it came in, okay? Our conversation always leaned in the direction of affection and sexual, and she sent me a lot of sexual explicit Snapchats, messages, photos, and videos. Our relationship was very confusing to me, and I didn't really fully realize I was being coerced at the time. She eventually flew me out to her home in Greensville with one-way ticket while I was sitting, still under the impression that she would be getting me in a video with Mr. Beast. I mean, this is a lot, man, just trying to get in a video. The first night at her house, she told me to set up in her bedroom as I was be sleeping in there with her. I thought that this was potentially the beginning of a relationship. When we went into the bed together that night, we ended up cuddling and kissing, which led to her taking the clothes off and asking for oral sex from me. I went down on her expecting to engage in sex that would be reciprocated. But when I was done, she made it clear that she did not want to return any sexual favors to me. Now, apparently this happens a lot where this person is performing sexual favors for Kris and Kris is not performing it back. This obviously gets this person upset. Now they feel used. Now I'm basically, look, listen, you guys can read all this stuff. It's a lot. I'm going to break it down to you, though. I'm going to break it down to you. I'm going to be that guy that just mediates. And I'm here to tell you basically what is done here, because there's a lot of stuff to read here. So basically, this person here is working or thinking they're going to get a job with Mr. Beast, right? They're promising to get in a video and this and that, you know, all that good, fun stuff, yada, yada, yada. This conversation goes on for a while, right? This person stays at the house for a week. A lot of sexual stuff happens. Mostly this person giving the favor to Kris not returning the favor, this person now feeling used. They eventually go back home. Some time passes. Ends up going back at some point. Ends up working with Mr. Beast, doing whatever. I don't know. Stuff in the background, right? Stuff gets a little shaky. Kris is apparently dating somebody else, and this person is getting upset about this, and it just keeps going. Now, let's go down a little bit more. Okay. During the trial period of my employment, Ava continued to receive oral sex from me multiple times, and I started to feel like I was being coerced. Because I started feeling that way, I decided to try to avoid any physical engagement between Ava and I that could lead to more one-sided sexual acts. I took a short trip to my home state at the end of July and returned July 28th. When I got back, I continued to do my best to avoid anything physically sexual between Ava and I. So basically, this person comes back. They don't want to do it anymore. They feel like, okay, this person's using me. I'm being fooled into being this person that's performing all the sexual acts, and this person's not giving it back to me. And I feel like, you know, this is not a relationship. I think this person here obviously was expecting this to be a relationship. They were talking on Discord, doing their little thing on Discord, you know, whatever. And then they flew out there and find out that, you know, it's not a relationship. This person's using me. Okay, so here at some point we agreed to not have sex anymore, if that's how I felt about what happened. For several months, we did not engage in explicitly sexual acts, but we did continue to engage in physically sexual acts such as cuddling, groping, and holding and sleeping in the same bed. So things are still a little kind of weird, right? So, and then there's these sexual text messages. She sent these messages. She blocked them, obviously, but she said, I want to tweet these. Thoughts, hot, God, so hot, so fuck worthy, mommy even. Okay, thank you. I needed that confidence. Yeah, and then, I mean, I guess these are pictures that Kris is sending back. Yo, this is the weird shit that we know that Kris does. Kris is into that, like, child porn shit, too. Like, he likes that it's so weird. Like, that dude that makes these little pictures. He takes, like, real-life children, right, and it makes, like, a cartoon version of them naked. Like, it's pedophilia. It is so nasty and disgusting, the shit that this person is into. Like, Kris is an absolute weirdo. Mr. Beast, if you guys don't already know, already cut ties with him, said, you know what, he's out of here until we figure this stuff out, okay? Now, this right here comes out, and I'm going to tell you this, though. The whole thing with this person here, from what I'm reading, seems like they're really just mad that this relationship didn't come out. I don't see anything as far as a sexual assault, okay? This person willingly performed these sexual acts. And now is mad because things didn't work out with the whole Mr. Beast thing. So this is the one thing I will say. Kris is weird. Kris was doing weird things. That's what Kris does. But was this something that I would say is a sexual assault? Probably not. But you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's see. We did eventually hook up one more time. during a week in December in which I was super emotional because my cat of 12 years that I brought with me to North Carolina was dying of cancer, which this person talks about. The cat dies. Chris tries to comfort this person, Muskina, whatever, and then, like, I don't know, dude. It's just like this person gets mad and then they don't talk again. Apparently just trying to help this person didn't really help. I don't know. This cycle kept happening until Easter 2024 when Ava traveled with me to spend Easter with my family. We then spent a weekend together in Boston in a hotel while I showed her around the city. At this point, we were very close emotionally, and I told Ava how I was feeling about us, and I wanted to have a conversation about us. I told her that I already felt like we were in a relationship, and she agreed. I told her that the feeling I had for her were like that of a partner, and she said she felt the same way about me. She told me that traveling with me for Easter did something for her, and I believed we had something special moving forward. A few days after Easter, she planned to travel to LA to visit a friend that she was talking to and interested in sexually. I told her this wasn't a problem for me, that I wanted us to have an open relationship anyways. She wasn't ready to officially call us partners at this point, but she assured me that this person wasn't looking for anything serious, and she didn't even know if they were going to hook up. She ended up hooking up with this person on the first night and was calling them her boyfriend by the end of the week, and they were officially in a relationship. I had a huge problem with that, with the way of all this played out, and I wanted some clarification from Ava on what she and I were. This led to a lot of fights, which led to me moving out in the beginning of June because of how bad my mental health was with everything going on between us. Dude, this is... So here we go. This person now is also, like, at some point in this whole... Dude, there's so much stuff. This person posted so much stuff, dude. It's like crazy amount of stuff to read. But at this point right here, this is the guy I was talking about, Shadman. All right, this guy Shadman does, look, sold drawings of CP. I think you got figure out what that means. Right? I don't know what I can say anymore these days. I feel like I say something, I get in trouble somehow. But this is what this person's doing. Now, it is rumored or even confirmed. I'm not going to look it up right at the second, but Chris owns a lot of this from Shadman. Actually, that is confirmed that he does own a lot of art from Shadman, whether he's got it hanging on his wall or not, which I think he might. This is all the stuff that has been around for a long time. There's even been like releases of like Reddit, which I don't do Reddit. I don't really go into Reddit and stuff like that. But Chris is in Reddit with Shadman or something like that, talking about like how much he's into this art, and it's it's straight up pedophile stuff. And it's crazy that this person was working with Mr. Beast, who does what? He's an influence to children. It's crazy that this kind of person has any type of like reach for these kids, man. Like, they shouldn't be around kids. I'm glad that Mr. Beast stepped in and now got rid of him. But it's a shame too at the same time, because this is somebody that, Jimmy, Mr. Beast, grew up with. This was his friend, his childhood friend. I mean, this guy was around since the beginning. This whole thing, man, since it happened, I think it started in 2020. It's just been downhill since. Ever since this whole thing happened. He left his wife, he left his kid just to be weird, man. And that right there is just so mind-boggling to me. But this right here is, to me, at least from what I'm reading, just seems like this person is really pissed off with how this relationship went. This whole thing came out with the whole child thing, with him talking, or Chris talking to a girl or boy on Discord that was underage at the time, and Chris was in his 20s at the time and was inappropriate, and this person just jumping in and then posting this stuff. I don't know. It doesn't seem like sexual assault to me. It just seems like this person is really bitter about the relationship not working, but at the same time is kind of reconfirming that Chris is a fucking complete weirdo. I don't really get into this stuff on my YouTube channel, but I felt like I want to get into it a little bit because I am somebody who's not a big fan of this dude, and I don't mind talking a little bit of shit about him. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, because this is weird, right? It's kind of weird. But do me a favor, like the video, because it helps me out, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And we'll post some more stuff. We'll get some more content out there very soon. Of course, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.